Verse 12. Therefore, as I went to Damascus with authority and commission, from the chief priests at midday. Somebody shout midday. We used to be dealing with midnight. But at midday, O king, I saw in the way a light from heaven above the brightness of the sun. Above the brightness of the sun. You ever thought about that statement? Above the brightness of the sun. The sun is the brightest thing you could look at. And he said there was the light above that brightness. Ain't God good? I say, ain't he good? I mean, I don't care how bright the sun is, there was a brighter light than the sunlight. Oh, you see, we got the S-U-N sun, but now we got the S-O-N light. You got that one? About me, and them which was journeying with me. And when we were all fallen to the ground, the earth, I heard a voice speaking unto me and saying in the Hebrew tongue. Now, I don't know Hebrew, and I'm so glad God ain't going to call me that way. Now, it's in English, but Paul heard it in Hebrew. Saul, Saul, why? Why persecuted thou me? It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks. And I said, who art thou, Lord? And he said, I am Jesus, whom thou persecuted. But rise, O Saul, and stand up on thy feet. I have appeared unto thee for this purpose. Somebody say, for this purpose. To make thee a minister and a witness both of these things which thou hast what? Seen. Somebody say seen. It's going to come a day you're going to see some stuff. And it's also of the thing in the which I will appear or come later. I'm not going to show you everything at one time, but there's some things I will reveal to you in the proper time. Of those things in which I will appear unto thee, watch this now. I want you to put verse 17 in your note. Delivering thee from the people. Hello? Somebody say hello? Hello. Delivering you from the people and from the Gentiles unto whom now I send thee. In other words, I got to get you from people before I send you to people. Most of us, our biggest problem is God can't use you. Because he never delivered you from people, so now you're trying to go to people you ain't been delivered from. Stay with me. To open up their eyes and to turn them from darkness to light and from the power of Satan unto God, that they may what? Receive forgiveness. How they going to receive it if you don't got it? You can't give people what you ain't walking in. Of sin and inheritance, and watch this, and an inheritance among them which are sanctified, set apart by faith that is in me. Then he speaks to King Agrippa. And he said, wherefore upon, O King Agrippa, I was not disobedient unto the heavenly vision. In other words, God told me to do something, so I did it. Tonight I want to take you back to a thought. Look at somebody and say, I'm going back. That song say, take me back. I wish I could sing like Jay. And the first thing I want to bring to your attention is verse 14. Because sometimes before we can go forward, we need to know why we're going forward. Hello? In other words, a lot of us are moving in a direction but don't know why. So he asked Saul a question. And see, Saul told him that I have been given authority and I've been commissioned to do what I do. So where you get it from? The chief priest. Who he's supposed to be. You could be working for the wrong person. Don't let it get quiet on me now. Just because you're doing something don't mean you're working for the Lord. Now this story is showing us that Saul was not working for God. But he was at work. So you have to stop and ask yourself, who is influencing you to do what you're doing? Because if you don't figure that out, then you're going to make a mess out of everything you do. So you wanted to know who was influencing you. You said, well, the chief priest sit me down here and I got my letter. You said, well, you're doing the wrong thing at the wrong time and the wrong way. The wrong thing at the wrong time, the wrong way. But even though you've been given authority, you've been commissioned to do what you do, but it ain't fit my agenda. Didn't I tell y'all that song was on me tonight? We have to know where's our agenda coming from. Because if you don't quite understand your agenda, you could be doing things that's causing problems. So Saul had an agenda, but it didn't come from the Most High God. It didn't come from the Father. It came from those that he was up under, that had the same mind that he had. That whoever these Christians is, we're going to get rid of them. There's some people that's in your life don't like people. All right. And now you got their agenda in you. So you spending all of your life holding up somebody else's agenda because they don't like them and you don't like them. I'm moving into something, so stay with me. I don't want you shouting loud. I don't want you to make no kind of noise where you look guilty, because if you do, I'm going to say something to you. I want you to learn how to listen, take it in, and whatever you need to do with it, let it clean you out. Because this year, ain't no picking this year. It's cleaning. You can't eat hog chitlins out the bucket. You got to work on them things. Ain't that right? So he tells him, he says, Saul, I want to know where you getting your influence from. See, Eve made a decision to listen to another voice. And when she listened to the voice, she got everybody in trouble. So you need to search who you're listening to. Okay? So check your itinerary a little better. Make sure your itinerary aligns with his itinerary. Not just as you want to do it, not because you just feel good. What did God tell you to do? See, when you don't do what God tell you to do, then you find yourself frustrated. Let me tell you what I'm going to get into. I get to it in a minute. So check it a minute. I put this down, caught in the middle. Tell somebody I'm caught in the middle. I got one headquarters telling me one thing, and I got somebody else dealing with me on something else. I wanted to tell this message because he talked to him. He says, Saul, why are you persecuting me? Now, I don't see nowhere Saul was coming against Jesus. He was coming against those that Jesus loved. What's your itinerary? He said, Saul, you're a bully. Hello? If it get quiet. He said, you know you can't whoop me. All right. So what you going to do is come against them I love. So he's dealing with him because he says, I'm watching what you're doing. You're going down, persecuting all of these people, but at the same time, you won't talk to me. Before you touch people, won't you ask God about them? All right. Because the day you mess with people that don't talk with God, you're a bully. And the reason why you're a bully, because you're touching who God loves. Y'all stay with me tomorrow? Then he says, Saul, being a bully don't help you. Because it's hard, Saul, to kick against what I want. All this you're doing, you wearing yourself out. It's hard, Saul, to kick against me. But what you did, you sort of looked at the people as though I'm not looking at them. Okay. In other words, I see them in you. Okay. And I notice what you're doing, you're being a bully to them. And I'm finna put a stop to it. Yeah. I'm finna show you how. It's a good message, but you got to stay with me. So then he says, in Acts 26:14 from another translation, I use the TPT translation, what they call the Passion Translation. I love it. He says, so you're only hurting yourself when you resist your calling. In other words, when you're not doing what I want you to do, you're hurting you. You're not hurting them, you're hurting you. Even though your intention is to hurt them, but you're truly hurting yourself. Because how can you attack what's a part of you? Wow. Another translation writes it this way. And I said, who art thou, Lord? And he said, I am Jesus whom thou persecute, but rise and stand up on thy feet, for I have appeared unto thee for this purpose. And I like this because he was letting him know that there's something I have for you. And what you're doing, I don't have that for you. So we stressed, I want to get into this a little bit because I want to take my time, okay? And then verse 16 says, I have a job for you. I've handpicked you to be a servant and a witness to what happened today and what I am going to show you. In other words, he said, I've handpicked you, Saul. And you can't kick against it any longer because it's cutting you. All that you're doing to others is making you bleed. Come on. Tell somebody you bleeding out. Because you think you're doing them harm, but all the time you're doing me harm. How do we love people and say we love God, but the people God loves, you hurting, you coming against them? He said, no, Saul, I want you to understand, when you touch one of mine, you touch me. When you treat them wrong, you treat me wrong. Okay? He said, for this purpose. I said, this purpose? So Jesus uses a word in the Greek that specifically points to something. He said, for this purpose. Now, in the Greek writings, he said, for this. But in English, you can't say for this. You have to have something specific, this is. So he's telling Saul that there's something specific I have for you to do. And what you're doing is not what I want you to do. I don't want you to do what you do. I have already pre-designed what your life ought to be. Tell somebody pre-designed it. It points to something meaning something specific. Somebody say specific. Purpose is specific. When people say what your purpose is, if you can't tell me, you don't know. Because it's specific. That means it ain't just anything. It ain't just I do that. No. What he's telling Saul, there is something that I had in mind for you. God, write it down. God don't save you to do everything. Hello? Suck it in. God don't save you to do everything and to be everywhere in everybody's business. If you got a purpose, you can't do everything. Proverbs 19:21 says, watch this. There's many ideas, many plans in a man's heart. But it's the Lord's purpose that will be established. In other words, you'll run yourself to death and still ain't done nothing. Because you think you for everybody. You think you got to be everywhere. But when you get to the end of the day, what have you done for the Lord? Well, all in the name of you being good but not right. Because when you find your purpose, it'll pull you away from all that stuff you ought to be saying no to. You can't say no to nobody if you don't know your purpose is. The reason why most people are caught up in stuff because they have no purpose. They get up every day looking for something. So when the phone rings, you can't say no. But if you knew what you had to do, purpose set boundaries. Write it down in your notes. When you have purpose, you already know how far you can go out today. In other words, Saul's purpose in his mind was to persecute the church. But in God's mind, it wasn't the same thing. Because my purpose for you, Saul, didn't start with the man that gave you these papers. My purpose started with you before you was born. In other words, it's going to take this moment to reveal to you that I need to redirect you. So it's coming a time in this year, God getting ready to redirect you so you can be in the right place. Too many of us is in the wrong place, doing the wrong thing at the wrong time. And all in the name of, I did something good, but didn't do nothing right. Nothing. See, the enemy to good, to right is good. Your greatest enemy to right going to be doing good things. We would do good things, but not the right thing. Well, I helped the poor, but I wouldn't pay my tithes. I got in my brand new suit and got on that woman's car. God ain't told you to get on that woman's car. You went on that woman's car because you're trying to do good. But if you'd have been in church where you were supposed to, you'd have been at that door where you're supposed to, God would have had somebody to fix that car for you. But because you think you're supposed to do it all, you don't come to church. Don't get quiet on me now. Because when you know purpose protects you from all the voices. But when you have no purpose, any voice will pull you off. Because see, purpose will help manage and steward your gifts. Like some people got all these gifts, but they don't know what their purpose is, so they become a jack of all trades. Now you don't wore yourself out because you don't have purpose. Purpose of purpose is to make sure you stay in purpose. The reason God put purpose in our lives is to make sure nobody won't give you one. So when you wake up in the morning, it'll dictate what you do. Because purpose will tell you what's the first thing on your agenda. Let me make this a little more contemporary for most of us because we don't live in that time. Okay? God did not save you to post foolishness on Facebook. Why y'all didn't say, shout me down, shout me down, shout me down? God ain't placed you to be on Facebook arguing with nobody.
That's right.
Listening to all that junk people say. Your eyes and your ear gates get in your heart.
Yeah.
And if you don't get off there, you're going to lose your way. Too many of us don't have purpose, so we bored.
Okay.
So what we do, we get on here to try to find out what's going on. What if you're going to be nosy and get somebody saved?
Okay.
We got too many people looking for a fix because they don't have purpose in their life. Purpose will make you come home and don't even know Facebook exists. Don't even know TikTok exists. You're working during the day on the job, but you're texting at the same time, ain't got nothing to do with your job. Because you're addicted to foolishness. And let me put this out here, my denim. If y'all gonna take my picture, ask me my permission to post me. No, I don't want to be on Facebook. Y'all take my pictures, need my permission. If you don't, I'm suing you. No, you need to give people permission before you put them on something. It's your camera, but it's my look. Everybody don't want nobody to know they going away from their house. Now, I'm one of them. I got cameras to let you know I ain't there. As soon as it rings, I look at you. No, we are allowing the narrative of the world to suck us in. And now we don't have any control over what's happening to us. So now we just doing stuff because we ain't found our purpose. And people are just saying stuff. Somebody went to tell me, so I said, look, I don't watch my kids. I don't care what they say. That's their life. I got my life. I don't want to know what they're doing. You might know because you nosy. I ain't nosy. I'm always praying anyway. Purpose. Somebody say purpose. I'm getting to something now. I'm picking, but I'm getting at the same time, okay? If you say you're picking on me, well, good. Then you know you're guilty. Meaning something that fits, fit. That don't even fit you what you're doing. See, what he's saying is, Paul, what you're doing don't fit you. I didn't call you for that. Why you keep forcing something that I didn't call you to be? So purpose is about fitting in the right place. So when you get in that place, your job is to function to its full capacity. If you ain't the faucet, you might be the hose. Neither one of us is the water, but the water can't come without it. Talk to me here. We need the knob. You got to turn the water on. So you got to know where you fit. Somebody say fit. You can't do everything. Find what you're good at and go and do everything you can to master that one thing you do and be your best at it. But quit taking on 12 projects and flipping on everybody. Because when you take on too much, then you get upset. Then everybody else suffer because you hating or you mad. I fit in this pulpit. I don't step down because I'm tired. I just give you opportunity to preach. I ain't got to fit 2 weeks to preach, and ain't 104 services. I don't need nobody to preach for me. I don't need one minister in here to preach. Not one word for me in 365 days. I got 52 times, 104 times to preach. What I need somebody to preach for me for? You understand what I'm saying, though? When you fit somewhere, it ain't no job for y'all. Y'all better get me up in here. It ain't no job for you when you fit. It's who you are, and you love doing it without a piece of dime in their hand. Come on. But if you need recognition, you don't fit that. Most people that read, they quit because they don't recognize them enough. Well, if you fit there, it don't matter. That chair you sitting there ain't never complaining. Nobody don't move it. I ain't never heard it say, I'm tired of y'all big butts sitting up in here. No, it's a chair. It know what it's for. We don't know what we for. Here we go. Somebody say, here go again. Meaning something that was before it is. Got me? That means when it comes to purpose, it was something before it became what it is. In other words, purpose didn't start when you found it. Purpose was already in place before you even was born. You was born as a result of purpose. When God made you, he had already had something in mind. Now the problem is you have to get in the right place so God can use you to do the right thing. I'm going to give you a lot of definitions, so you got to stay with me on that. Something that is designed special for you. How many of y'all ever wear a tailor suit? Yeah. I'm tailor-made, baby. Oh, yeah. You can't give a tailor suit to anybody. No, sir, it can't fit it because it's cut for your body. All your rolls, your curves, your bows, and everything. That's your stuff. When it's designed especially for you, that means that when you wear it, it fits just right. Hello? Somebody say design. It's also something that is something that is, but yet not revealed. In other words, it's there, but I ain't revealed it yet. Because now I got to work on you a little bit. Now I got to get you right before I reveal everything I want. He said, first of all, what I'm going to do to you is, I'm going to call you, but I ain't going to tell you everything. Here come. Here come. Y'all going to love your pastor this year. Because I'm teaching you everything I know. Because if I die, at least you can't say you got everything. Something God is trying to get you to pay attention to. You know what our problem is? We're too busy looking at other people rather than what God wants you to see. Pay attention to the things in your life that you do that do not make you lose your attention on others. In other words, if you're doing something and you can't keep your eyes where you at, you're doing the wrong thing. Because you should be keeping your eyes where you at. And I just use these ladies, for instance. They're all cleaning, right? If somebody in here really got a problem with cleaning, they're looking at everybody, seeing what you're doing. Well, y'all ain't doing nothing. Well, you need to go home, you. Because they just might be fellowshipping. So you don't enjoy your job. You're just trying to do a job. Stay with me. Got a lot of stuff here. Now let me ease back to this. I missed the whole point, but I want to go back to it because I want you to know. Now, God told him, first of all, I want to, for this purpose. Now, one of the words for purpose back in the older years, and it actually means intentions and goals. Somebody say intentions and goals. In other words, God said, I got some goals and I got some intentions. I want to make sure that you understand what they are. Okay? That's what the word purpose means. But then I got to study more, and as I did an etymology on the word, I done my research, it actually means propose. Hello? Pro before. Yeah. Pose, to set something in place. Jay, you proposed to your wife. Right? But she had to consider it. All you can do is ask her. So God is saying to us, I propose tonight. Do you really want to be my wife? So in purpose, it means that somebody is making a proposal. He's saying, Saul, this is what you're doing. I don't know who proposed to you. I don't know who you're married to. But what you're doing, you ain't married to me. Because if you were married to me, you wouldn't be doing that. My spouse wouldn't do that. Okay. Tell y'all don't hear me. Okay. In other words, when you get in purpose, that means that you have decided to say yes. And once you say yes, now you got to listen to your husband, which is Christ. He's the head of the church. So if you can't be talked to, first of all, you ain't the bride. All right. Now, I tell y'all all the time, I ain't talking to none of y'all. I be talking to the church. Because some of y'all, I don't know how to talk to you. So I just stick to the church so I know I'm right. No, because we got all these philosophies about what we think and what we think the pastor ought to say and who he ought to do things with. Who are you to tell somebody what they ought to be doing when you ain't figured out what you ought to be doing? Sometimes we just need to stick to what we should be doing and focus on that, find our purpose in life, and stay firm to that. Because it all works good with everybody in the right place. But when people are out of place, everything is dysfunctional. Purpose. Somebody say purpose. Then he goes on to say, Saul, it's hard though when you're not in purpose. It's hard to keep doing the wrong thing, Saul. He said, if you keep doing it this way, you're going to keep hurting yourself. The reason most of us have so much pain in our lives, because you are going against why God called you. See, purpose means that you don't make the decision on what you do. Purpose means that you accept the terms and the agreement. Now, it's hard because you don't want to do it. And he says, Saul, it's hard for you to keep, and that word hard means it's like the ground hadn't had water for years. It's coarse. I mean that you work harder. And when it's hard, that means you're kicking against something. You're kicking against something. The reason why it's hard for them to come to church, because they didn't take the proposal. All right. They didn't accept the proposal that was given to them. So now it's hard because I'm trying to be faithful to something I didn't say yes to. When I say yes to something, I say no to everything else. See, Brittany never said anything to another man about her if he met her since the day Jay proposed to her. Didn't matter what the man said, she already knew what she said yes to. Am I right or wrong? So she ain't finna go do something because she already committed to something. No, y'all ain't heard me. How can you be somewhere in a Bible study when you already say yes to the proposal? Because we don't know contract. Well, I guess I got to run somewhere on a Sunday. Run where? Run to church. Because you think you called to do everything. Because you don't know your purpose yet. Because purpose will tell them, I see you when I get out of church. But we feel like if I don't go, it ain't going to work right. If you commit to something and somebody say, well, I need you to do this. Baby, shut up. I ain't doing that. You know when the proposal came, I said yes. And I need you to get in line with it. What's wrong with people here is they'll find their purpose and pull you out of yours. Okay. You can't do that. That means that purpose, no purpose. If I know what it takes to fulfill purpose, I'm going to push you in yours. So why would I talk you out of you being faithful when I'm trying to be faithful? But sometimes we want to be faithful, but we want to be controlling. Okay. Now I'm finna get quiet. Somebody say, Pastor, own it. It only hurting yourself. And when you do that, man, you putting pain on you, he said. And he said, who art thou, Lord? And he said, I am Jesus whom thou persecute. Don't even know the man. All he knows, he's having this conversation with his voice, but he don't know who he's talking to. And he said, listen, Saul, I know who you are. I knew you in your mother's womb. I knew you before you was born. And I didn't call you to go and persecute my church. I called you because I want you to be ahead of my church. Okay. He said, now what I want you to do is not come against them. I want you to help bring them in the house. Come on. Our job as members is to get other people in here. We never should ever discourage anybody in the house of God with anything personal in our lives. Well, that's just the way I am. No, that's your way you want to be. Because when you get saved, you have everything you need to change. And ain't no such thing he's still working on you. God ain't got to work on you. You got to work on you. And the way you work on you, people got to help you see you wrong. I am so sick of people see wrong and won't and get in there and appease that wrong in people's lives. If they wrong, tell them, baby, you're wrong. Honey, you're wrong. You don't do that. But if nobody corrects it, how do they fix it? If Alvin don't speak to Weeks, I'm going to tell him you're wrong. I don't like him. I don't care who you don't like. You in this church. We're not talking about your emotions. We're talking about your word. Yeah. We pick at people because we don't like them. Nobody likes you either. You ain't no likable person. But because the one that proposed to me loved you. Because he loved you. He saw something in you. Why I can't see it? Why I can't see it? Because I'm going to tell you why. You're toxic. And what causes you not to see? You're blinded on the inside by your own deficiencies. And I'm going to tell you why. You ain't found your purpose. Because when you know your job is to make sure the church stays together, you'll never want to separate another individual another day in your life. But here's this. If I come against Alvin, who am I coming against? I want you to write that in your notes because some of y'all think y'all bigger than God. You'll wake up and lose your life playing with God. See, our problem is we've done this so long that we think we're getting by with it. Every attack you bring on a member, you're bringing it on yourself. That's right. If God saw fit to save them, you ought to have enough in you to labor with them. Come on. How can he labor with you and you ain't got time for nobody else? Before you go up to people, check you, not them. We walk up to people and just just disrespect people rather than just come up and be nice. How much it costs you to be nice? But it costs you everything to be crazy. You know why? Because see, God saw that. What is he saying? I propose to Albert. I propose to Yvette. I propose to Violet. I propose to Week. I propose to Turkey. I propose to them my women. Who are you to come against my women? Well, Lord, I don't think you need her. God said, I don't need you. But didn't I bring you in? No. Why they like that? Why you like that? Weird. See, for every why you ask about why somebody else like that, you ain't spiritual. You know why most of us can't deal with people? Because you're fleshly. When you're spiritually, you restore people. Yeah. When you're fleshly, you separate people. Ain't y'all got to clap that Bible? I got all my Bible I want. I say fit for purpose. That's what we're going to be talking about. Yeah. You got to find purpose if you're going to see any change in the people you're serving. Yeah. Because people ain't just coming to you because you look good. Because they can see how good you look, but when they meet your attitude, they'll leave you in a scat second. I'm guilty of a lot of stuff, but I ain't never guilty of loving people. I'm like, but I love you, man. I'm going to love you. I'm going to fight for you. You ain't got to fight for me because I'm a lion. Just open the cage. Now go back to that verse where we said that he's going, for this purpose. Read it down there for me. For this purpose. This purpose. Read it for me. But rise. Now, if you notice, he tells him to get up. How do you get down there? Hello? Sometimes God got to knock you off your high horses. And what he did, Saul, he knocked him off his horse. And he did it by a light. Darkness ain't going to never get you off your horse. The reason you can keep puffed up, because there ain't no light in your life. Because wherever the light is, it'll reveal that darkness. The Bible said when he was riding, a light shone around about him. And when he looked up, he was on the ground. Not just him, all his compadres. Some of y'all going down with some of the people you in cahoots with. You need to quit. What's that word they use when you buy in with somebody? Amen. What they call it? Y'all need to quit co-signing on foolishness. When people don't do right, don't co-sign on it. Say, come here. You, come here. You ugly. Come here. You're being nasty. Come here. See, here's the problem. When nobody said nothing, they think they're right. Well, if everybody's seen it, why everybody talking about it out of their presence? Because you weak as the person, you weak just like them. Because if you was a strong person, spiritually, you'd have stopped that. You say, I saw that. Why you being like that? That's God's bride you messing with. If David touched a man's garment and his heart smote him, just touching his garment, he touched a man's garment that was not anointed anymore. That's right. And his heart smote him because he said, who am I to touch a God's anointed one? Let me tell you why you don't mind talking about people. Because you got your picks who you think anointed. There's some people you wouldn't dare touch. You know why? You titled them. And the title you put on the next person, it was too weak, it was so low that you had no honor for them. Just because God used a person don't mean that the next person is less. See, sometimes I think the body of Christ's biggest problem is it don't discern the body right. All they see is a person being used and somebody gave them a word, so they feel like they got everything going on. But what about the little person that God don't use but once every 6 years? That may have a word for your life that the person you always looked up, ain't got one for you. I was listening to a song, and I don't know if R. Kelly made the song or not, but you know, because they got all this AI stuff. But I was listening to the song, it came out, right? And he was saying God's hand on him. And I was listening to it, and I said, well, Lord, this is R. Kelly. He said, what about R. Kelly? I said, well, you know, he ain't no gospel singer. He said, he's a singer. Okay. He said, what you need from me? I said, I need your hands on me. Listen to the song, son. Quit looking at the vessel and look at the song. Okay, come on, okay. Right there. Now, I listened to, what's the name of the person you had tonight, baby? What kind of drama she got in her life? Hello? 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 What kind of drama she got in her life? None of you know her, right? But she ain't perfect, right? What we all in here jumping, about to fall out, listening to her? I rest my case, man. I rest my case. The reason why it's easy to listen to her, because you've been listening to her so long, and you done put affirmation in you about her. But as soon as something bad come out on her, all that's finna change. See, our problem is we're looking for perfection in the wrong people. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for prophecy. I'm looking for promise. Every once in a while, God may use somebody to give you a word that don't look like they should be giving you one. But when it comes to God, all He's trying to do is order your steps. It may not be the person you wanted to give you that word, but because you honor every person in the body, now God can use who He want to use. Every one of us in here can prophesy. There's not a person in this room can't prophesy. And the reason I know, because it's as the Spirit will. Nobody owns it. Right. It's when God look in and see who He's dealing with and who you want to get a word to. And the little sister over there by you, she's struggling, lights off, but she's sitting there praying. And she look over there and tell you, babe, I heard you pray, and the Lord told me to tell you something. Who is you? Now she said everything that you've been praying about. But the one that you prized up here, you forced the word out of them, and it really wasn't the word supposed to be came to you. People are under compulsion to give you a word because you done made them believe that they need to have one for you. When you got 6 books, get you one. You understand what I'm saying? And He said to make you. Somebody said make you? First of all, just because God called you don't mean He made you yet. I finished. Get quiet now. See, He called him, but I got to make you now. That means I have to make you what I've already made you. Now you're finna go to a series of processes to be made. In other words, I know why I call you, and I know who you are in my eyes. But now I'm going to send you to a series of stuff to make you the minister that I need you to be. Same word that I said from the beginning, a servant. So He said, I'm going to make you a minister and a what? Well, how can you witness about something you ain't never seen? So in purpose, it ain't just about finding it. It's about getting on the wheel. Because now I got to do a work on you to get you ready for what I really want you to do. So I'm going to make you a minister and a witness both of these things which thou hast what? Seen. Some of y'all ain't seen nothing. And then He said, from this point, I'm going to deal with you as you go. So the more and more as those things in which I will appear unto thee. In other words, He said, I'm going to come in your life off and on. Now, watch what He was telling. He said, but you don't know who coming. Okay. Now, to read the story, you'll find out God didn't come. You'll get it tomorrow. Keep reading. I said, you'll get it tomorrow. God didn't come. God didn't come. Somebody else came. You'll be looking for the wrong person, see? The person that came, it wasn't on them. Then He went on. Go to the next verse. Verse 18. Then He said, this is what I want you to do. Open their eyes. How you open somebody's eyes and yours closed? So you got to learn how to be a minister first. Yeah. Then you got to learn at being a minister, then He's going to have to show you some stuff, and He's going to reveal some stuff so you can be a witness for Him. A witness is somebody show the right example. Yeah. If you saw how Christ do people, why are you doing anything different? Okay. We can't keep doing different than what we're professing. The weight of your profession has to be shown in your way you do things. If you profess He's a healer, you profess He loves people, why you not carrying that weight of love on your life? Because we don't know what love is. Love ain't just being any kind of way. Love is reaching out and being tender and kind to people. Because the world already harsh. We don't need no more harsh people. Don't we have enough people to deal with that's done lost their mind? The least thing, if you come to church, you ought to never feel like you're being mistreated. Am I right or wrong? Well, say amen then. And say, I'm the person to make sure it don't never happen in you. You got to get on your guard this year and watch anything that come up in the church that ain't acting right. Paul wrote a letter one time. He said, listen, the people cutting up down there, go get them people and stop them. He said, I hear there's division among you, and I believe it. He said, because I know y'all. Y'all in the flesh, you say anything and do anything. But they may receive forgiveness of sin and what? Inheritance and them which are sanctified by faith that is in me. One more time. I want to get to the last verse. I'm going to close my material. It's about to go anyway. Therefore, King Agrippa, I was not disobedient to the heaven. Keep reading. I think that's where I want to go. But showed first unto them of Damascus and Jerusalem and throughout all the coast of Judea and then to the Gentiles that they should repent and turn to God and do the work fit for repentance. Keep reading. For those causes, the Jews caught me in the temple and went about to kill me. Ain't that good? Yeah. I say that good. Yes, in other words, purpose will put a target on your back. Mm-hmm. When you find your purpose, Satan will set up all kind of ways to try to get you to forfeit what you just figured out where you fit at. When you find where you fit, watch the attacks. Yeah. Watch everything. Yeah. And where do Satan attack at? What 3 areas? The lust of the eye, lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. And I bet you, whoever you don't get along with, it's in them 3 areas. The pride of life, lust of the flesh, and what else? And lust of the eye. If you ain't want what somebody else got, I heard something today bless me. It said this: you can be jealous of a person, and it's cool, because God's jealous of his people. All jealousy do is help make you get up and do something more. But the dangerous person is the envious person, because the envious person will try to destroy you. A jealous person will just try to outdo you. But when you become envious of somebody, you'll find everybody you can to try to hurt that person. And this year, as a body of Christ, God is getting ready to bring people in our church. And what we need to do is be prepared for that. We need to be in our places when they come. Because when they come, they ain't got time to be figuring out why you don't like so-and-so or why you don't get along with that person. You need a tribe. Who your tribe is? Your tribe tell me how you think. All you got to look at the people in your life. If everybody in your life crazy, you crazy. Every once in a while, you got to put somebody in your life that stands on the outside of what you do. Because people in it with you can't see it. No. Find somebody that stands outside of it and be honest with you about how you do things and say, baby, that ain't the way you do it. You ever heard this saying? Too close to the forest? Finish it. Can't see the trees. If you get in the forest, there's trees you don't see. But the person that's standing back see them all. That's right. So every once in a while, take a step back and say, baby, you ain't done that right. Sister, you ain't done that right. Sister, I seen what you did. Go fix it. Why? We want harmony. We're here to keep peace among each other. We fight for that. And that's what your pastor stands for. I don't care about this church. You can have it if that's what you want. But you ain't going to keep nobody with that attitude. That's right. What I care about is people, not the building.